towards the most important thing which has been requiring for clear the basic of Flutter development and how to make a simple applications in Flutter and having the advantages and disadvantages of Flutter in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so the session has been scheduled in such a way, it has been divided into two parts. The first will be a simple introduction to Flutter, like which framework, what is the language of Flutter and everything, the introductory part. And second is a simple application which we are going to show you to understand how the coding part of Flutter works in Android Studio. So first we are going to understand about the introductory part. What is Flutter? What is the language of Flutter? And how we are going to how we are going to know the frameworks and everything required for Flutter that it in this half an hour. Then after that, we are going to the Android Studio to code the application for us and understanding that code, that how that code has been implemented and how the widget and everything has been made in Flutter. So let's start with Flutter. Okay, so first the major question is what is Flutter? Okay, so the Flutter is basically a open source mobile application development SDK. Okay, it's a SDK which is used to develop mobile application. Why most of the people choose Flutter? Basically, it is a cross-platform application. Okay, so from the same code base, we are going to develop for both Android and iOS. So we just have to code one time, and that code is applicable both to Android and iOS. Okay, so we don't have to do the code in different languages for Android and in different languages for iOS. It can be done. It can be done by Flutter from the same code base, and it can be tested on both iOS as well as Android. Okay, so this is the major advantage of Flutter, why most of the people choose Flutter as their mobile application framework. And okay, so why Flutter for mobile app development? As we have discussed, like it is a cross-platform framework used to develop for both iOS and Android. But the major point here is it is also backed by Google, and it is developed by Google and backed by Google. So a huge tech giant is behind this framework. So it will be having some of the scope, and major companies are shifting towards Flutter in upcoming time. And as you can see, there is a boom of Flutter in the internship field as well as. So learning Flutter is never going to affect you. Like there is a tons of opportunity available in Flutter. So I think Flutter is a very good framework to understand and learn for your career purposes also. So this is why we are going to use it for mobile app development. Then what a mobile developer requires? A simple thing. As a mobile developer, I require a fast speed, hot restart, hot reload, and simple animated feature and high performance working for both Android and iOS. So as a mobile developer, I required this thing, but it was not present way back when I started coding. But when Flutter get such a response from the community, and
Your
when we
mic
are going to,
unmuted.
what happened? Hitanshu, is there any disturbance?
Is someone having doubt? If someone is having any doubt, we'll be having a routing session in the end. So please wait till then. Okay.
Okay. I think there is some sound. Okay. So we are at what a mobile developer required. So you can see it has beautiful design, faster execution time, and from a same code base we can do for both iOS and Android. And there is not a single difference between the animation in iOS and Android. The application developed on Android will be same to same as been developed on iOS. And irrespective of the screen size, screen length, screen ratio, it doesn't affect Flutter widgets. Widgets are the part of the animation which we will be discussing later, but this is what a mobile app developer needs, and Flutter fulfills all the requirement. So it is very worth learning Flutter today. And the aspect why Flutter is worth learning is it has been backed by the huge giant that is Google. Okay, and it's the fastest growing language framework in today's part. Okay, so now what we know Flutter framework. So basically, what is Flutter? Flutter is a framework of Dart language. Okay, to study more about Dart language, I can show you what is Dart. Okay, so Dart is a language Dart is a language which is we can say it's a combination of JavaScript, Scala, Java, TypeScript. If you know all these languages, I think you will be familiar with the syntax of Dart. And I think if you are familiar with one of any languages present, let it be C, C++, anything, JavaScript, Java, anything else, you will be comfortable in Dart in mostly in 1 week or 2 weeks, because the syntax is more similar and more compatible of all these languages like JavaScript, Java, TypeScript, Scala, and all this thing. Okay, so that is a language that has been used for programming in Flutter. Okay, and Flutter is also a framework of Dart. Okay, so this is that the official programming language of Flutter framework. So if we talk about framework that is Dart, it can be consisting of different things. That is material, cappuccino, widgets, rendering, animation, painting, gestures, foundations. What are this? These are basically the screen making things. The screen which has been developed on Android and iOS are basically a composition of these things. Material is a widget. Cappuccino, widgets. Rendering means the screen ratios which we have. Animation is the moving thing which we have. Painting, gestures, foundation. So these are the basic components which we are used for making the user interface in Android and iOS. These are the things which the framework, that is Flutter framework, uses majorly. You will be finding these things majorly to use in your Android application or iOS application. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the key features of Flutter, which are as listed as follows. Like, it is an open source platform, so anyone can contribute to it. As you know about the open source development, I think we have a previous session about open source development. I think you are most clear about that, what does the open source platform means. So if anyone find any mistakes or something like that, they can contribute from their self to the Flutter community as well. Okay, then the custom design part. Flutter has tons of animated and predefined designs which we have, and we can use it directly. We don't have to make everything from scratch. We have written the Flutter developers, the community has written every type of animations, user interface, and everything which we have present in the PubDev library, which will be discussed later. There you can find everything which are required for animation designing, and everything for the user interface part. So this part is very fast, and which can be done for Android and iOS both. Then the faster development cycle. The Flutter follows hot reload. So let's come to that topic. What does the hot reload and hot restart means? So coming to the hot restart, I think I will be showing in the Android Studio also what does the hot restart means, but just the overview of it. Like, when we write a code, let's say we have written a simple print hello world code. After that, let's say we have a variable, like we have declared a one variable and we are printing that variable. So what now other frameworks and other programming language in app development does is, whenever there is a change, they make the screen whole, they run the whole code again. But in Flutter, we don't have to worry about this. In Flutter, when we do Flutter hot restart, basically it searches for where the changes has occurred. Like, if we have declared a new variable, okay, that's the only change. Flutter just go and change that thing at the runtime only, and that has been displayed to the user interface which we are creating in a mobile application. So this is the feature which makes us to develop faster app development cycle. Like, we don't have to run the code again and again. Just we do the hot restart, and it has been in millisecond. Your whole application go to that changes which has been done by the coder. Okay, so ease of code sharing. I think this is code sharing is easy in Flutter, as you can know, like it's for both Android and iOS. So if you are sharing this application, like the code base to the iOS developer, it can be done on the iOS platform as always at the Android platform. So ease of code sharing, object operation, super productive. I think there is a survey which has been done in previous, like what is the most like framework by the developers, and Flutter got the highest rating at that, and it is super productive. You can make an application in 2 days, 3 days, fully working application in 2 days or 3 days, and it has amazing widgets. Flutter has tons of widgets which is predefined and it is ready to use. There is a ton of widgets which can be used for making the user interface, for interacting with the users, for interacting with the backend, for interacting with every kinds of things, like phone number, if you want some phone number, messaging thing. And there is a tons of things present in the PubDev library, which is a community of Flutter developers which has predefined Flutter codes written there, and we can use this code as it is. Okay, so this is the thing which is the key features of Flutter and why Flutter is preferred. And this is all the point in this. Yeah, the most important thing is custom design and navigation. This is an API which has been giving problems in both Android and iOS. So Flutter community developed a customizable API which is compatible for both iOS and Android, and which can be used by from the source code base for both Android and iOS, and we can have a navigation thing. So this is the best thing I think the Flutter has developed till now. Then faster development cycle, which we have discussed, ease of code sharing, and object operation, super productive. So basically there is a two states. Okay, there are two states, that is stateless and stateful and Flutter, which will be when we will be working on Android Studio, which will be discussed more on Android Studio, and you will be able to understand more on that. Amazing widgets, which we have discussed, reduce time for quality assurance, enhance performance with Dart, community support, and the community support of Flutter is around small as compared to React or Ionic, but it is really growing very fast in India. If we say, if we go previous two years back, I think nobody was learning Flutter at that time. But at today, if we talk about India only, there is a 25% growth in the Flutter developers in the last year and today's year. So Flutter has been like using by most of the developers till now, and I think it's a great platform to learn. So let's discuss about the advantage of Flutter. So faster code writing, that's the thing which we have discussed about the faster code writing. It is very easy to write code in Flutter because that language is a combination of JavaScript, Java, and if you learn any one language, that can be learned in 1 week. That's it. Then less testing. Yeah. So this is very most important features which we have for the Flutter phrase. Like we don't have to test again and again. Like if the code has been tested for Android, it will be work on iOS as well, irrespective of if it is using some low level API that has to be done by the Android or iOS separately. But the user interface present in Android will be as it is in iOS. Okay, so this is the less testing work. So it will be increasing our productivity and it will be making developer task very easy. Then one code for two platforms. As discussed earlier, it is cross-platform application which can be done for both Android and iOS. So which we can do, which we can make both from one source code, and it is easy to share between them. Then designs the user love. So Flutter is all about design. Like if we can design anything you want in Flutter, it will be very much easy than native Java, like Java, Kotlin, or if you are going with iOS Swift or something like that. In Flutter, you will get tons of widget which has been contributed by the Flutter community, which is ready to use from the pub dev. So we can just import that thing and use that widget, and it has tons of animation. And I think Flutter will be soon in web technology, web development. Soon it will be there. It has not released the stable state, but I think it will be soon in the web also. So it will be good. Like we can do mobile app development and web development from Flutter only. Faster mobile application. Now let's say disadvantage of Flutter. Like yeah, as we can see, we have both for certain things. If Flutter is providing this much advantage, there will be some disadvantage as well. So let's discuss about disadvantage of Flutter, which are necessary to know when we are at the base. When we are starting, we should know the disadvantage of Flutter as well. So I think yeah, community support is there, but it is not up to that mark as of React or something like that. There's a community support, but you have to do a lot of searching and searching some lower level APIs like Bluetooth connection in Android or taking permission in iOS. Like it becomes sometimes it becomes a hectic task for her. Initial costing is high. Like yeah, Google is developing a thing and it needs continuous support. There should be continuous updates which has to be done in Flutter. Google is backing up it, but I think not up to that mark. Web browsers till now, I think Flutter has released that version, but web browsers still does not support that type of like Flutter web application till now. It can not be deployed. So and the one major disadvantage of Flutter as well, before learning we should know, that is if you are having a Windows, I think you will be making everything for let's say you have a Android phone and a Windows device. So it will be good like if you are developing for Android part only, but to do for iOS you will need a MacBook. You will need the Xcode. I think that is the major disadvantage which Flutter gives, because I think to run and test iOS, you will be requiring to need a MacBook. at that point of time, and many things are there as a disadvantage. Like at the backend, if you are using Firebase as a backend, then you can do the thing for Android, but for again iOS you will need a MacBook. So I think this is treated as a disadvantage in Flutter, because I think everyone does not have that two devices with them. Okay. Then conclusion, Flutter, that's the conclusion. And now we will be moving towards the Android Studio part, in which we are going to discuss the code and the live working. And I think I need to share one more thing. When I think in the next session, Hitanshu, you will be telling how to download Flutter as well.
So the next thing will be conducted by the GOC club. They will be handling that part.
Okay, so when you have developed the Flutter, I think if everything goes fine in use, so this is a Flutter Doctor which checks all the details for for the requirements required to run Flutter comfortably in your own device. So I think you should have a check at this, and it is running and it should get all green tick marks. So if you are having any problem in this, I think we are there to communicate with you. So okay, so Hitanshu, let's move to the Android Studio Code part and have that thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be sharing my screen.
Okay, you share your screen. I'm just.
Is visible?
Yeah, it's visible, Hitanshu.
Okay, so.
Okay, so let's start with the code part. Okay, so this is the general interface. Hitanshu, can you open the file section as well, so we can have file as well? Okay, so whenever there is a new Flutter project, it has been started like this. There is a counter application part which we will get in here, but I think yeah. Okay, so the coding part has been done in the library section. We can go to the library and you can show the mean.dart file. Okay, so this is the file which is used, which is the mean.dart file, is basically the first file which is going to compile, and this is the import first line which we are going to understand about this thing. Import package flutter material.dart. Material is a thing which is used for developing the user interface in the mobile application. Okay, and the second thing which we are going to develop is a audio player, which is a xylophone, in which clicking a certain button will be making a certain output on the terminal. I think we will not able to hear the voice now, but it will be work on that. So this is the second audio layers, audio players.dart. Basically, this is a package which we are going to use. So this is how we are going to use this package, is basically from the pubdev. So Hitanshu, you can open the pubdev.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so pubdev is a community support of the Flutter, and here we can choose any packages. Like we are using audio players, you can search audio players here. Yeah. So we are using this package. Now, how to use this package? Major question is, so to use this package, we just have to search the name of the package, go to the package. I think this is a release. We have now you just have to run the command, which is everything is given: readme, changelog, example, installing, version, scores. What does the scores means? Score means how the community have rated this package, like how community respond to this. Like it has 99% popularity. You can see the pub points, like it has been rated 120 after 130, and it has 1364 likes. So how you will going to know how the package will work on your device. If it has bad rating, don't take their package, but if it is good rating, like let's say 99%, so yeah, we are ready to use that package, and it will work great on both, and it has a great readme. So you are able to know what this package does, and how to use this package is in our code. So you can see here all the support and all the things that are required to importing this package will be there. So let's on the can you go to the pubset.yaml? Okay, so here we go. So this is the pubset.yaml is a file in which all the dependency which has been requiring for our project, Flutter project, has been saved, and it has one we can say one drawback you can say, or it has one rule which set of rules which we have to follow, is the indentation. Okay, the spacing between the thing should not be changed when you are adding anything. Like here you can see in the environment and the SDK there is certain amount of spacing. So if you are going to add anything below that, it should be start from SDK. Okay, not from any random point in that. If you start from anything apart from this, it will give you an error, and that package will not be imported. So to import that package, we import that in the dependency section. So you can go in the dependency. You can see here we have imported audio player. Here you can see audio player has been imported by us. So here you can add any amount, tons of packages available. You can add any amount of packages, and after adding that package, just do the pub get which you are having here, and then that package will automatically get into your main.dart or any file which you want to use. So you can see if process finished with exit code 0. Okay, so if this comes, yeah, everything goes fine. But if you make an indentation error, so let's make an indentation error. You can just yeah, audio player. Or you can import a new package. So you can see the indentation problem here. You can see here we get an indentation error, and here is an error like it cannot change. So we have to like give that amount of spacing here which has been required. Now if we go do the pubget, yeah. So if we do the pubget now it will be returning with a successful like exit code 0. Is it working, Tash? Yeah, so you can see now when we have cleared the indentation here, so it will be returning with exit code 0. So this is the most important thing which has to give look in pubset.yaml is the indentation, the spacing which between the things. So we have predefined things, and the Flutter community has written us like how to make indentation mistake, but don't do the indentation mistakes. So to overcome indentation mistake, we use terminal. So we can from terminal you can directly add that thing. So you don't have to worry about this thing. So here on the installing thing, you can see the package how to install on the terminal. You can see here and just copy this, and if you run this on terminal, it will be automatically added in your pubset.yaml. So you don't have to worry about the indentation mistake, and it will run and it will automatically add in on your Android application that you are developing. Here you can see change one dependency. Okay, so now you can now let's go to the main code part, in which we are going to understand how the widgets and how the things are working here. So let's go to the main.dart file. Okay, so second import come place is basically we have imported a package which is known as audio players. This is the syntax in which we are going to import a certain package which we have downloaded, and that package can be imported. Now the void main function. So void main is basically the first function that has been executed by the compiler. Compiler look for main, search for main, and yeah, when he got main, now main function will be a main function will be started. So in main function, there's a function name as run app. Run app. What does the run app want? Run app basically what does is it invokes the Android SDK, and if you are working on iOS, it invokes the Android SDK, and it tells the compiler, yeah, we have to work on an Android application, and the emulator will be getting the screen which is known as xylophone. Constant keyword. What does a constant keyword means? That the values of the xylophone is not going to change. Like the screen of the xylophone is not going to change until and unless a user interrupts it. Okay, so xylophone. What is a xylophone? Xylophone is a class. Okay, so now comes a widget thing. We have two types of widget, basically known as stateless and stateful widget. Stateless widget is something in which we don't have any dynamic property in our application. Like it is just a static app, like let's say visiting card application, in which you just have your photo, your name, your details. That's it. It is not working anything on clicking. It is not changing. But if we want to change something, then comes the idea of stateful widget. So if you want to make something dynamic, you have to do it in the stateful widget. So here you can see we have made a class. Class has been defined by the class keyword. Xylophone is the name of class. Extend is a keyword used for inheriting a thing. So in here our xylophone class is inheriting the properties of a stateless widget. We can use everything which is present on the stateless widget. if you want to know more about stateless widget, you can go in the Flutter community. You can just click on this. There is a whole documentation of stateless widget. You can find the various functions there. So extend keyword is used for inheriting a property.
All right. So just need to slow down a bit.
Okay. Thanks for the feedback. Okay. So we are at the extend keyword. I think the extend keyword, if you have used any programming language, I think it has been used before also. So extends keyword is basically used for inheriting properties of the parent class. So you can think stateless widget as a parent class of xylophone. Now xylophone will be inheriting all the properties which stateless widget has. So now come the constant xylophone key and key. This part, I think this part is basically when you are in a stateful widget. It's more important. We will be learning about this later. Now, what does this keyword mean? Widget build context. Widget is basically representing all over the screen. Widget means the user interface in which user is going to interact. All the things in the Flutter is majorly consisting of widget and a widget tree. So widget build is a function in which we tells a compiler to build a context on the screen as the user defined. So material app is basically a function, or you can say a widget in which there are tons of functionalities in which we can add various things. So material app is basically used for user interface part in which we can just make various changes. If you go to the material app, Tanshu, please go to the material app and press space. Tanshu, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please go to the material app and press Control plus space to show all the properties present in the material app. After material app, you can just here is a tons of the functionalities which the material app provides us. It's the basic application for building a user interface. You can here see what are the things which can describe. We can describe title. We can describe a function that is building some context and everything which you can find. Okay, so it is consisting a home. A home is a property of material app. Now on the home, we have given again a widget. So scaffold is again a widget. Okay, so I think you are having problem in widget. Anyone from the meeting has like any doubt in understanding widget? Can just ask.
Is someone having a doubt?
Like
they can and
widgets are the basically the main thing which has been used for designing user interface in Flutter, and everything is under the widget tree only. I think you will be able. So if you have any doubt in understanding this thing, you can ask first. So we can just go further for that.
Okay, so I guess we should continue.
Okay, because basically this widget is widget because Flutter. When you are going to develop in Flutter, you are going to use tons of widget. Okay, scaffold is a basically a major widget used, like it's a predefined thing which has been written by the developers at front. You don't have to specify again and again to make anything. Scaffold is basically having an app bar, a body, and a lower app bar, and everything that has been written by the developers at front. You don't have to think about like we have to develop. You can just go and in the scaffold and see what does the particular things means. Like app bar will be consisting of a top screen consisting of title, let's say my app or something like that, which we can define. Okay, so I think Hitanshu, if you open the application at side by side, so it will be more helpful for them to understand that thing. I think. Okay, so this is the thing which we have. I think so in the material app, Hitanshu, you can do one thing. You can use one property of that is the disable the debug menu. you can make that functionalities false. So it will be better. So you can see here, this is the property that is debug show check mode banner. It is here, you can see the mode banner that is debug has been written. We have written that we have given it a boolean function. It is a boolean function. You can see here when you click on that, it will be showing you what does this mean, and you can just set this property false. Now you can do the hot restart. Can you show the hot restart once? So you can see on the application part, it has been removed. I think material app is the whole UI. You can see the debug has been gone. And if we set this property again to true, and we do the hard restart, yeah, you can see the debug is there. So I think the material app is the basically the whole user interface which a user think, and material app is the major widget which we are going to use every time when you are going to create a simple Flutter application. It is something like, you can say it is a predefined syntax or something like that, which we have to use to define a particular user interface to a user. Now you can you can let it to true, and let's say now what does the safe area means? Yeah, now scaffold. Now scaffold consists of major things. It's, let's say it consists of app bar. Now let's make a random app bar here, Hitanshu. So let's make a app bar. So it will be more clear. So scaffold as a property name is app bar. Okay. Now app bar, and every app bar has a widget known as app bar. Okay. So we can just make a simple app bar here. Yeah, so you can see we can just make a random app bar which has been predefined, which we don't have to define. We can just give the title here. Yeah, title, and title will be consisting of a text widget. Now this is also widget. Everything in Flutter which we are going to specify under any property is a widget. We have to specify a widget and in the any property. Like here you can say in the home we have defined a scaffold widget. Then under the app bar we have used an app bar widget. Under title we have used a text widget. What does a text widget do? Text widget does nothing, but it just print something under it's on the screen wherever we are going to tell him. So you can see here, if we do the, yeah, here you can see, I think it will be now more clear how we have added a particular app bar in the Flutter application. So if anyone having any doubt in this point, you can ask me. I think this will help you to understand how the various widget tree will be working further. So you can ask any question. Has anyone any doubt? Please ask some question, because I think this is the most basic thing which we have to understand to go deep and deep in the widget tree, because every time we will be making a child, we will be understanding more about rows, columns, and everything like that. So if anyone has any doubt in this part, please ask. I think you don't have any doubt, type something like that. Okay, so let's proceed further. Okay, so what does the safe area means? Safe area deploy means to the area that has been provided by Android or iOS for running a smooth application. So safe area is also a widget in the property body of scaffold. I think you have to understand from deep. Material app is the parent widget, which is having a property known as home, which is having a widget, again a widget that is known as scaffold. Now scaffold is having some properties known as app bar, body, and child, and all the properties which we are going to discuss. Now you can see here we have discussed the app bar property. Now let's change some app bar properties. Let's say let's change the color of the if you want to change the color of the app bar, we can just go to the color property of app bar, background color, and to change the color we have to use colors, capital COLORS, and here is a tons of color which we can use. And if we go to the black, and if we just do the hot restart, you can see here we have changed the color of the app bar. So this is the major thing which we have to understand to make the widget tree. Now
Sir?
now yeah.
So can we change the language?
What kind of language you want to use custom fonts?
No, sir, like Hindi or some other language.
Yeah. So if you want to use Hindi language, I think we can check. We can also change the language to Hindi also. But for that, you have to use some package that has been available in the PubDev library. So in the PubDev, I think there is some library known as Hindi or something like that. So we can also convert it to Hindi, like you write in English and it will be displayed in Hindi. There's a converter in the PubDev. So that can be done. That can be done, but you have to import a package which has been present in the pubdev. It cannot be done from here. Here it only accepts the value. You can say here, like if you are able to type here in Hindi, in the text, in the string this, I think it will be displaying in Hindi only. Okay, so yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, so now let's move to the body. Now, what does the body means? Like in the scaffold is a widget, and the body, what does the body consist of? Body is the everything apart from app bar consists of known as body. Like here, if you just go leave the app bar, you can see this whole thing is a body. Okay, so now we are at the body. I think you have to understand from the base. First, material app. Okay, material app looks for the whole part. This also notification bar and everything rest which the Android provides. Now there is a scaffold. Okay, scaffold is a widget. And scaffold is a widget in which we can use predefined function defined by the Flutter developers already in our application. So they have defined app bar. As you have seen, we have made an app bar. Okay, we can do a tons of things. Like in app bar, we can center this title. Like you just have to set one property, that is center title, to true. I think we can do that thing. We can do this, like wrap the widget, and we can. I think Hitanshu, you can do from like specifying the property center title. Okay.
Yes, sir, that can also be done.
Yeah, we can do by this also, and we can also do by this also. So this is the app bar. This is the all predefined which has been written by the, like you can see here, we have center a particular statement with a center widget. Okay, so we have wrapped this thing with a widget. Now let's go to the body part. Body part is basically what, the everything apart from the thing from app bar. It's all the body part. We are on the body part. Now we are getting the safe area. Now safe area is also a widget provided by the Flutter team. Safe area generally depicts the screen size, screen ratios, like every screen has different ratios. So it only compromise to that screen size, it fits to that screen size. Like if you say the height, like let's say if you say certain height, so it will not, like some phones have different heights and some phones have different heights, but the safe area depicts the only space present between the app bar and the lowest part from the screen that has been available. So now we are going to work on the safe area part. Okay, so we are under safe area widget tree. Now it has a child. Okay, so with the Flutter as parent and child properties. Okay, so each widget can have their one child, and there are some widget known as row column which can have which can have multiple child, that is known as children. Okay, so we have the child, that is main app. Now what is the main app? Main app is again a class. Okay, so it is a stateful class. As discussed previously, what does the stateful class mean? Stateful class generally describes the changes which can be done on the screen, like on tapping, which can do any property, which can do anything. So we are at that part. Now this is a main thing. This is a stateful class, and this is a predefined syntax provided by the Flutter, in which we have to make stateful widget like this. Okay, so stateful widget, like when we create a new stateful widget, it comes with a predefined syntax in which we have to done our coding stuff in the main app state extends state main app. Okay, so this has been the upper class that has been known as class main app extends stateful widget comes predefined from the Flutter developer team, and in which what does the stateful widget says, if there is any changes on the screen due to something, call this function again. This is the function that is main abstract has again been called. Okay, so this is what stateful widget does, which has been missing and stateless widget. Okay, so let's go to the part now. We have defined as we have used the audio player library first. So we have defined like a variable known as player. Okay, so final keyword. So is anybody knows anything about the final keyword? Can share one thing, final keyword. Is anybody there who have like known about final keyword or something in other languages, not in the Dart? I think, okay. So like as in other languages, what does the final means? Final basically deploys as final is a keyword which is known as the property, the value of player will be not changed. The player value will not change in this session, in this class which we are having. In this class, this final value will not going to change. Okay, so what does the audio cache prefix assets means? Basically, this has been come from the Android packages which we are using audio player, as has been it has so well documented in PubDev. You can open PubDev and there you will be able to see how to use the audio player things. So this is the thing which we are using. So player, now we are going to use any of the property of audio cache in play from player. Okay, so let's move now. This is a function. I think on the function we will be going later. Let's first go to the build part. Yeah, so this is a widget build. What does this mean? We are going to build some user interface in this function. So what does this means? That is returning a column. I think column is basically in the form of C1, C2, and it can have any amount of children that you want to provide. It can have any amount of children which we have. Let's say here we have 7 children. We can have any amount of children. So you can, as I have told you, every widget has a child. But there are some widget which takes more than one output. Let's say there's known as row in which we can put horizontal child. There is a column in which we can put in vertical order, and there is a stack in which stack widget in which we can put one above other. And there are some widgets. There are many widgets possible in Flutter which have been documented well in the documentary. But the most used widget for getting more than one widget inside a child is row and column. So row and column basically have children. Okay, so they can have any amount of children. Let's say they have children, and that children is a list. You can see it's a list of widgets. It's a list of widgets. Now we have defined a function. Okay, so in Dart we have defined a function named as tiles. Okay, so we can have a look at tiles. What does the tiles function do? Okay, so here we have made a tiles function in which what we are taking two things as thing, that is a number and a color value. Okay, so what does this two means? It is a simple function as has been done in previously, which we have done in our programming. This is function. So what does the return type of this function is? Expanded. So expanded is also a widget. So expanded widget does what? Expanded widget basically tells our all widget that you have to be in a screen only. You don't have to go outside the screen. Let's say if we have a screen of height X, and if we want four widget in that, it all will take X by 4 X by 4 X by 4 of screen. Now if we have 5 widget and a height X, each will have X by 5 X by 5 X by 5 height. It will not go anything above that. Okay, so here we have 7 things, and you can see due to the expanded thing, it is always it is always aligned in the perfect manner. If we remove that expanded widget, it will be of the default size provided by the container. So now on the now if we know the expanded is a return type of a function tiles, which is consisting of two input, that is int num and a color value. Now it is returning. Now this is an expanded type. So it is expanding to return and the data type of the function which we have named as. So it is also returning an expanded widget. The expanded widget which I have discussed with you is that now, as I have told you, every widget has a child. So we have defined expanded widget child as text button. So text button is nothing but it is consisting of two property, that is on pressed. We can, when we touch that button, which we want to do some events. Okay, so text button is a property of expanded widget. And if we go to various functionalities which the text button provides, is the function on pressed, that is on clicking a particular thing what should be done. On long press, if we press on long thing, what we want to display. On hover, like on just moving our fingertips over that button, what we know do. On focusing, and there is tons of predefined function which has been which we can be derived in the text button. Okay, so this is a styling thing. I think it consists mostly of CSS part. And now we go to the onPress function. So this is onPress function. It is expecting a function. So I think you know how to describe a function without name. So we have just made a function, and we have print that this num is pressed. Okay, so we will providing the num value which is been getting in this function, and this number is pressed. So what does the print statement means? Print statement in Dart generally means to print something on the console. Okay, so this is a text button on pressed. Basically what it is going to do is going to print the number of that button which we are going to provide. And this is a set state, and set state is a function in which we are going to change the state of whole stateful widget. So in this thing, whatever thing we are going to do is going to make that stateful class once again. Okay, so whenever there is something on the state, any variable is changing. Like here, what we are going to do is we have make a player final as final, and we are going to tell our player to play. We are going to make tell our player to play a music which we will be showing what music which we have produced, to play that music on which if this particular number is pressed. Okay, so I think you should show how many tiles we have made. I think it will more clear on the column. Yeah, so here you can see we have used that function like tiles1 colors.red. Okay, so you can see the first is the colors.red, then second tiles2 colors.orange. Up now all these are clickable buttons. So when this button is clicked, we have made a function known as print. Like on the function we have written that if this is pressed, you have to print a certain number which we are going to provide. So on this red section, if we are providing 1 to our function, and the color is red. So when we press the red button, you can see here on the console, we can see 1 is pressed. Now on the orange, we are providing 2 and colors.orange. So if we press the orange, you can see here 2 is pressed. So like this on every part, there is a music related to that part, which will be played when a particular button has been pressed from our end. So you can see if we are going to press. Yeah. Yeah, so if you have any problem in the function section, because we are going to make tons of function to make things easier, so you can ask anything on the function section if you have any problem in that.
Sir, I had one doubt.
Yeah, sure.
I wanted to ask what will be the, like, you used final somewhere and const somewhere. So like when to use const and when to use final keyword for setting the variable.
Okay. So there is like const keyword and the final keyword. Okay, const is a global thing. Okay, so like in the main.dart file. Okay, we have the main.dart file. In this constant value cannot be changed from any other classes as well. If we like here only we have main.dart file. Okay, and if we have more than one thing, like we can make more classes. You can make like let's say final screen.dart and anything on start, that const value will never change. And the final keyword is domain specific. It is specified under a particular domain. Let's say you have made a simple class and you have declared a final keyword inside that, and inside that domain of thing, that player value will be not changed. But if this player value has been overwritten somewhere, it can be changed at that point. But inside that domain, it cannot not be changed. But the const is a global. It cannot be changed from any part which we are having. There is also one thing in which in when you are going to study in deep, you are going to learn more about object-oriented programming in Dart. And that will be making it more clearer, because when you are going to implement by yourself, I think you are going to use that thing. But for the overview of this thing, it will be good to know overview. But when you implement by yourself, I think you will be knowing why we are not going to use that thing and why we are going to not use the thing. I hope you are able to understand that thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so any more doubt in the function part? I think because I think we have made a function and function has been made like similar like to the languages which we have used.
Hello, sir. I have one more doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, here it is written return column for colors. But sir, aren't the colors in a row?
No. I have tell that column is vertical and rows is horizontal. Like Hitanshu, just change column to row. Just change this widget.
Sir, they are inverse inside Dart.
You can just check, like if we make this thing as row, you can see it will be coming in a horizontal order.
Sir, why is that?
A row is basically row, like it is predefined by the Flutter developers. We cannot do anything for that. Like Flutter in row, if we define anything in row, it will be coming in a horizontal order. Here you can see it comes all in horizontal order.
Yes,
And
sir.
in column, if you want to describe anything one by one, one inside other, we have to use column for that. And you can see in the column, it will again come in the vertical order. Okay, I hope your doubt is clear. Anything more from that? Akash?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
सर टेबल टाइप का बनाना चाहेंगे तो
Yes. Can you speak a little bit louder?
सर टेबल टाइप का अगर बनाना चाहे तो
Like what type of table you want to create? Like let's say SQL query table like thing. Okay. Yeah, so let's Hitanshu, let's implement that thing. So what we want to do is we want to create a table. Okay, let's say we want to create a table of let's say 3 cross 3. Okay, so what we want is first we want 3 columns. Let's make 3 columns. Okay, so in the column now in the column we have this let's remove this. Okay, yeah, so let's make 3 things. Okay, so now each tiles what we have to do, let's not make in the function thing, we can make in the now we have to give 3 rows. Okay, like for each column you can see, like here we have the red column. Now in this we have to make a child. What child we have to make? A row. Okay, so we have to make a row. Hitanshu, will you able to make rows for that? You can just make a custom table also. We don't have doubt. I think you have to, like, we have made 3 columns. Let's say C1, C2, C3. Now, what was the C1 will have? C1 will have its child as a row, and you will have to specify number of rows that particular column needs. Then we have to certify. We have to make C2 as a child as row. Okay, and then specify that row how many child you want in the rows section. And then C3 we have to also display specify C3. Under C3 we have to yeah, you can here make tiles only. Yeah, you can add text also. Thank you. Tanshu, it will be great if you make it in the tiles only, so it will be it will be in the expanded widget, so it will be taking only that part of screen that is visible. So you can just make tiles only. Here you can see whose doubt was that. Here you can see we have made a table, I think.
Sir, even if we want that each cell can work as a button, then we can also do that.
Yeah, it is all button. You can see here we can press, because what's the property of the function? Like what's the property of function? It is following the function property. Here you can see on pressed, this is all our text button. This all our text button which we are using. So on this printing any of the button, that particular number which we have associated, you can also do anything like this is pressed, or some actions which we want to perform. Actually we are not able to hear sound. We have added sound when a particular thing is pressed, but I think the table thing is, I think you have cleared the table thing, in which we have made columns. Under that columns we have to make rows.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. So yeah, So any other doubt related to this function and the user interface which we are going to create, and column and rows, because column and rows will be used most of the time. Yeah.
Can you explain about the child and how to implement it?
Can you repeat once? I was not able to hear.
So can you explain about the child and how to implement it?
Child.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what does the child, basically what does the child means? You have a parent class. Let's say if you have a parent class, let's say you have a container. Let's say you have a container. Hitanshu, can you just make we can just make a let's say yeah, after this on this thing only, after column we can make a text. Okay, so let's make a text. Okay. So this you can have you understand the difference between child and children, where we use child and where we use children?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
The
so
child are
children,
similar.
yeah. Okay, so child is basically the like we have a parent widget. Let's say you have a widget known as container. Okay, so what does the container do is it makes an empty container that is present on the screen. Now you want to add a text, like you want to add in the text, but you cannot just go and describe in the text, okay, this is our child or something like that. You have to make that, okay, this is like here you can see here it is giving us error. Okay, here we follow a widget tree method. Okay, what does the widget tree means? Widget tree means there is a parent widget, and there will be the all the widgets after that will be its children. All the parents like there is a parent widget. I think the parent widget, if you know, it's a material app. Material app is the parent widget, and all the other widgets which we are having, it's its children. And here you can see how the parent tree works. First the material app, then the scaffolding, that's its child. Then the scaffolding has its two child. Let's say scaffolding has a two property known as app bar, and that app bar and the body, and then body has the various widgets. So every widget will be in a widget tree, and in widget tree you are going to make a particular child of an widget, and to include two widget, like a container will be having one children. Okay, so now if you want to make two child of one widget, what you are going to do? You are going to use rows and columns. Okay, so rows and columns allow us to make more than one children of a widget which we are going to require. You can here see column. Now column has a children. You don't have specified child, because if you specify child here, specify child once here, you will be getting an error. Like we cannot specify, because column consists of children. You can give any amount. You can give one or more children to the column. Okay, so children. Okay, so I think uh, the text, you can provide the text on the container. I think the background color, due to background color, I think it's predefined. Now yeah, we can, yeah, you can make the color. Yeah, you can see we have a container. Like if we don't give a text here, like we don't give a child a text or something like that, we don't give a child and we just write text hello world, it will not going to print, because container is an empty container. If you remove this child and text, you can remove both. Yeah, we will get error, and you can remove text also. Okay, so now you are going to see, like, yeah, it doesn't have anything. It doesn't have a child. It is an empty container present here, but it doesn't have anything. So it will be requiring a child, and child can be any widget which you want to use. It can be a text widget, it can be rows, it can be columns, and there is a tons amount of widget. When you will going to start with Flutter, having going to use with it, you are going to find many widgets that are present, and it is helping to make the UI better and easier for the developers to use. I think for the first time, it's been a little bit confusing, but if you are going to use and make apps continuously with this, it will be a very good exercise, and it will be helping you to make it more easier and better.
Sir, can you please explain what is scaffolding once more?
Okay, so what is scaffolding? So scaffolding is basically what a predefined widget provided by the Flutter community. Okay, so scaffolding has various, it's a predefined widget. It's not necessary you want to use, but it's predefined. Okay, like we have used app bar here. Okay, you can go to the app bar. Okay, now like how does we know that app bar will be having this much size on this much size only? This much it has been pre-written by the developers present there. Okay, so if you don't specify, you will be making a particular container with a child as text, giving it a height, width, and everything. But scaffold, it has predefined height. Like app bar has predefined height. It has been written backend. It has been written back. We are just using that scaffolding. And where does this scaffolding come? It is scaffolding comes from the material.dart package which we have. If you remove that package, we are not going to use any user interface part. You can see here. If we remove that package, it's not worth. So it's a library which we are going to import and use various widgets which are present in that library to make our thing. Here you can see we are getting error. Stateless widget is also present in that library. The material app, the scaffold, the app, and everything is present in that library. So the material.dart library consists of the following widget which has predefined things like say app bar, lower app bar, bottom navigation bar, and everything in that. So this is the major syntax of scaffold which we can use. Like let's make one more property. Let's say bottom navigation bar. We can use bottom navigation bar here also in the scaffold. In the scaffold, just press Control plus space, Hitanshu, and Control plus space. Yeah. Yeah, so like when you press Control plus space inside the scaffold widget, you will be getting tons of functions which you are going to perform. That is bottom navigation bar, floating. Like let's make a floating action button for you. Let's make a floating action button. So what does this floating action button means? We don't know where it's going to come on screen, but it is going to. It has been written by the developers on the backend. Okay, it is going to present on that. So yeah. On pressed we will be just making a function here, and this function will be going to print button is pressed. And yeah, ARP. Semicolon. Yeah, here. So if we just reload. Yeah, here you can see we get a predefined floating action button here, and we're just going to press it. We don't provide it a padding or something like that, so it should come in the bottom right corner. We don't have provide. The scaffold widget has been pre-written, which has some functions which made the developer easier to use various things. Here you can use app bar, on the body you can use, here you can use floating action button, and there's just tons of things which we are going to use inside the scaffold. If you don't want to use scaffold, you want to make by yourself by providing various padding or something like that, you can also do that. But it all comes with a certain amount of practicing on the Flutter platform, and it will make you more easier in understanding various things, how this material application works and all the things works. So the continuous practice will be the solution to understanding more in Flutter. Okay, so for any further doubts on this? Has anyone any further doubts? Please be clear on that, because Flutter is an emerging technologies, and I think it's good if you are going to learn this technology.
सर फ्लटर में एडवांटेज क्या होगा जावा के ऊपर ऐप डेवलपमेंट में?
फ्लटर में तुमको फ्लटर के एडवांटेजेस लाइक द एडवांटेज जो हमारा फ्लटर का रहता है वो सिर्फ सबसे पहले हमको जो समझ आता है दैट इज इट इज फॉर बोथ Android and iOS. Okay, so what is this code? This code has been running in Android, so it will be working on iOS. Now, if you are not going to learn Java first, okay, and you're just going to learn on Flutter. Now, in Flutter, if you want to work on lower level API, let's say if you want to use some permission, let's say SMS permission, so you have to go in the Android manifest.xml file. So like it is in this folder. You can go and go in Android. Yeah, build Android manifest.xml. So yeah, yeah, Android manifest.xml. Yeah, here. Now here you can see this, like this Android manifest.xml. Now if you want to use some permission, you have to use this. But if you are going to learn Java, you are going to be more confident in calling lower level APIs. What does the lower level API means? Like if you want permission for Bluetooth, permission for Wi-Fi, permission for sending SMS, permission for on reading messages, permissions for geolocation services, and everything from that. Flutter is a little bit lagging in this thing because if you are able to do it for Android, you are not able to do for iOS. So this is the major drawback which Flutter does have, which you don't want. Like if you want to use Bluetooth, like you have to go and write some Java code also. As I have developed an application in which I have to read the messages. So it is only compatible for Android, because in iOS we cannot read SMS from them because they don't give us permission. So learning native will give this edge, but what does the Flutter give edge? If you want to make that thing in which you just want to run with server, like make an e-commerce, like let's make an application in which you are just working with server and application. You don't want any Bluetooth or something like that. Then Flutter will be great because it consists of major UIs and everything that like. So if you are going to develop that app in 5 or 6 days in Java, here you can do it in 2-3 days. You can make your front end more beautiful than Java and easily in here because it has predefined widgets. So that's the advantage, and there are advantages and disadvantages as well. But Flutter is worth learning.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Okay, great. Any further doubts? Yeah, Akash Chokse. Yeah, Akash. Akash is raising his hand. Akash, do you have any doubt?
Hello.
Yeah, Akash.
Yes, sir. I would like to ask how can we implement geolocation in this in Flutter?
Yeah, and if you want to make a geolocation services, you have to go in the Android manifest.xml. Android, and here we get a permission thing. I think it's down there. No, it's not this Android and manifest.xml. I think there's in the Gradle thing. Not in the build Gradle. You have to add the permission thing, permission in Android manifest.xml and info please dot pl, like file in iOS. You can open that file also side by side in iOS.
Sir, can you just show for Android?
Okay, you want to
Yes,
do
sir.
for Android only.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I exactly don't know the the exact syntax which we are going to use for this, but it is something like users permission equal to geolocation dot something like that I have used. But it's easy, like you can just go, and I think I exactly don't remember the service name, but in the Android manifest.xml file, in the users permission section, you just have to add that thing.
Sir, in the user's permission.
Yeah, users permission, that's a keyword which has been basically, it's a Java thing in which we can use. I have made an application in which it's a weather application in which user fetches or data of a particular thing, and that's a syntax. I actually can't remember that, but we can do that. But just you have to add permission in Android manifest.xml file.
Sir, actually,
we just have to add permission and give
Then
it the Google API
we
or
have to
something.
restart. We have to restart again that app, and then when the app is built again, okay, you have to stop the service, okay, and then you have to run again that application, and then the runtime, the application will always ask you like this app want to use your location. So if you want to give the permission, you can give, and if we deny, it will be not asked. In the PubDev, I think there is a library. I think I will have to show permission manager. You can open Hitanshu permission manager.
And sir, if I want to add Google Maps API into this.
Yeah, so like for the API integration, there is a HTTP package, which we have.
HTTP, okay.
HTTP. We can show you like you can just show the HTTP package. So it's the most used package for backend. Okay. So yeah. So here like this is the major package which is used for the backend calling and the API calling and everything. So this is the package. Like if you are having an API, you can just go like use this package, and it has all well documented. And I think this is the most used package which is in the PubDev, because many of them is used for the call API calls and everything on the server. Okay, I think your doubt is cleared, Akash.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I'll have to try it out first.
Yeah, like if you are going to have any trouble, just contact me, just message me. I will show on the Android manifest.xml file. Okay. So any further doubts?
Sir, what are your contact info?
Okay, I will be sharing to Hitanshu. I think he will be sharing in your group. Is it okay, Hitanshu?
Yeah, sure, sir. I'll be sharing it.
Okay. So I think you are all interested in developing Flutter. I think I can see the number of students which want to develop. So have you ever started with Flutter or going to start with Flutter?
Sir, I have used a little bit of Flutter.
Okay.
So I'm trying to build an app into Flutter for hackathons.
Okay. Okay. So like what are the resources you are following to do the thing? Like I have some resources which I have followed to do the Flutter thing. You can also I think I can recommend, there is on the course on Udemy, let's say Angela U course. I think I have followed that course and I find quite interesting. And there is one more course on the Udemy only, and on the YouTube also we have 2-3 good channels. I think there is a YouTube channel named Abhishek, which makes fully working Flutter application, and from which you can follow also, and it will be good for developing. And there is also a particular name, let's say Front-End Flutter, channel on YouTube. From there you can improve your front end in Flutter. I think Flutter will be in, let's say, a year or two, it will be coming in WebTech also. I think we are able to develop WebTech now also, but I think it will be fully stable state will be releasing, I think. And I think it will be a great boom in the industry. So like it's worth learning. You can do.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any further doubts you are from anyone? Yes, Vishal.
Sir, is there any specific hardware requirement for Android Studio, sir?
Yeah, that's the major drawback I also face. Okay, so like it can work on 4 GB as well. I have like when I started, I have 256 GB SSD and 4 GB RAM. Android Studio will work fine, but don't try to run emulator on that. Okay, so to overcome that problem, you have Android phone. I think you have with you. So if you have 4 GB and 256 GB SSD, so you can just connect your physical device with that. Okay, physical device, and run on the physical device. Okay, it will be work same as that. Okay, and if you are having 8 GB RAM, and that you can have the emulator with you, and you can do coding, because Android Studio and emulator is a little bit big thing which we have. So it just hang for some time. Like if you when I started, I have 1 TB HDD and 8 GB RAM, and I was using emulator, but it was not giving up to that performance. It was lagging a bit. Yeah, it has a little drawback, but if you want to learn, you can do it. Like connecting the physical device will be a better option, which I perform on the physical device only rather than emulator.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any further doubts from anyone? I think you are all keen in learning Flutter, and it's good. It's good. Okay, so I think there are no further doubts from the session. Okay. Any further doubts? Anyone? Any type of doubts like regarding Flutter setup, installation, and developing something like that?
Sir, there is. I have one more doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, I was trying to run someone's code from GitHub. Sir, it was not showing that play button.
What play button? Like play button?
Sir, when we write code and sir, there is this run button to run the code.
Okay.
I was using someone else Git code. I was using someone else code from GitHub.
Okay, you have cloned that. What's have you matched the Dart SDK version?
Yes, sir.
Dart SDK version.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did that.
You did that, and it was not running. That also. Have you checked?
Yes,
have you run Flutter Doctor for that particular file?
Yes, sir. I did.
So I think it should not give any problem. I think like the green button which we
Yes, sir,
used.
the green button was not highlighted. It was not clickable.
Have you tried to clone it again? Like again cloning from Git?
No, sir.
You can just try once again. If the problem persists, we can have a discussion on that.
Okay. Yes, sir. I was also having difficulty in setting up Android Studio in the beginning.
Okay, so like if you're interested in learning Flutter, we can have a group, and like I have been working on many projects and will be requiring you guys to contribute in that project if you are comfortable in contributing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It will be great for us. So like if you have a group or people are doing contribution and something like that to a project, you can just like make a group from your side and tell me, yeah, sir, we have this much of people and we are interested in contributing project. So okay, I am open for it. No problem in that.
Sir, I know 6 guys who are ready to contribute.
Okay. So you can discuss on yourself also, because I've been working on 3 projects. I have 3 projects ongoing, and if you are able to contribute a little bit or something like that, it will be great. Like it will be making you comfortable in working in team, and as well as you will be having some experience in working in team. So it will be great. Like how many of you from you have participated in that hackathon which has taken in app development?
My whole team has. Sir, I'm talking about my whole team.
Okay, so you have participated in that hackathon?
Yes, sir. We have participated in SIH Smart India Hackathon.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, now I was talking about this app development hackathon which like GDSC has done.
Oh, okay, sir. I have not participated in that.
Okay, you have not participated.
Okay, yes, sir. We are willing to. Sir, we do want to learn Flutter.
Okay, no problem. You can contact me. You can contact me at any time. I think the Hitanshu has also made the group thing, and
Yes, sir.
It's not in the chat.
you can see the chat. I think it will be there. What chat is?
Sir, I'll be enabling it at the end of the session.
Okay. So
we'll share the link in the Discord server as well, so don't worry about that.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay, so I think we are up on time, and okay.
Okay, so we'll be wrapping up the session now. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your all the valuable information.